Here are the biggest upcoming movies and shows everyone's waiting for in 2026. And trust me, by the end of this video, your calendar is going to be completely booked. We're talking Robert Downey Jr. returning to Marvel as a villain, Christopher Nolan tackling Greek mythology, the final season of The Boys, and a Toy Story sequel nobody asked for but we're all going to cry over anyway. Seriously, 2026 might be the most stacked year in entertainment history, and if you don't watch till the end, you're going to miss the one release that's going to break the internet. So let's dive in, chronologically, month by month, because this year is insane. Before starting, a quick shout out to Superhero Intel. They've been dropping some really interesting breakdowns and theories lately. If you're into Marvel and DC deep dives, definitely check them out. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Starting strong with the Game of Thrones fans. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is dropping on January 18th, and if you thought House of the Dragon was epic, wait till you see this. This series takes us about 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones, following the legendary Dunk and Egg, a knight and his squire traveling through Westeros. Here's what makes this different. It's based on George R.R. Martin's beloved novellas, and we're getting 6 episodes of pure character-driven storytelling. Peter Claffey plays Sir Duncan the Tall, and Dexter Saul Ansel is young Egg, who you might know grows up to become King Aegon V. The chemistry between these two is going to be everything, and honestly, after all the betrayals and bloodshed in the main series, this might be exactly the heartfelt Westeros story we need. Mark your calendars because this is going to be your new obsession. Super Mario Galaxy. Nintendo fans, this one's for you. Super Mario Galaxy is making the jump from your console to the big screen on April 3rd. After the massive success of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which made over $1.3 billion worldwide, Illumination is back, and this time, they're taking us to space. Chris Pratt returns as Mario, alongside Jack Black as Bowser and Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. But here's where it gets interesting. The movie is introducing Rosalina, the cosmic guardian from the games, and rumor has it she's going to play a major role. Imagine Mario exploring different galaxies, each with its own gravity-defying challenges and bizarre new worlds. The animation team has already teased that they're pushing the boundaries even further than the first movie. Plus, if the soundtrack includes orchestral versions of Gusty Garden Galaxy, we're all going to lose it. If the first movie made you nostalgic, this one's going to send you into orbit. The Boys' final season. The Boys' final season drops on April 8th, and this is it, the absolute end of one of the most brutal, unfiltered shows ever made. After years of exposing the dark side of superhero culture, political corruption, and corporate greed, Homelander's story reaches its conclusion. Season 4 left us on the edge of our seats with Homelander literally taking over the government and Sister Sage pulling the strings. Butcher is dying, his days are numbered, and he's got nothing left to lose. Huey, Starlight, Frenchie, Kimiko, and MM are all in hiding, branded as terrorists by the very system they were trying to protect. But here's what everyone's asking. Will Butcher get his final revenge? Will Ryan finally turn against his father? And most importantly, can anyone actually stop Homelander when he's got the full backing of the US government? Showrunner Eric Kripke has promised this season goes bigger, darker, and more insane than anything we've seen. Expect blood, chaos, shocking deaths, and hopefully some kind of justice. If you've been riding with Butcher and the crew since day one, this final season is going to be one hell of a ride. Euphoria Season 3. After years of waiting, production delays, and real-life drama, Euphoria Season 3 is finally releasing in April. Rue's journey continues, and if you've been following the show, you know this season is going to be intense beyond words. Season 2 ended with Rue staying sober and trying to rebuild her life, but creator Sam Levinson has revealed Season 3 takes a massive time jump. We're going to see these characters years later, dealing with the aftermath of their teenage choices. Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, and the rest of the cast return, but here's the twist. Some major characters won't be coming back, and we might see completely new faces. The show is exploring what happens when the party ends, when real adult consequences catch up to you, and when you realize the people you thought would be in your life forever are suddenly gone. Get your mental health check-ins ready, because Euphoria doesn't do light entertainment, and this season is going to leave scars. Michael. Music lovers, this is your moment. Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic starring Jafar Jackson, MJ's actual nephew, premieres on April 24th, and this isn't your typical feel-good music biopic. This is a deep exploration of the most famous entertainer who ever lived. Directed by Antoine Fuqua, who gave us Training Day, this film covers everything. The Jackson 5 days, the Thriller phenomenon, the moonwalk that changed pop culture forever, and yes, the controversies that haunted his later years. But here's what makes this special. The Jackson estate gave full access to MJ's entire music catalog, unreleased recordings, and personal archives. We're going to see the man behind the legend, the genius behind the performances, and the pressure that came with being the king of pop. Jafar Jackson isn't just playing Michael, he's channeling him. The dance moves, the voice, the mannerisms are all there. Early reactions from test screenings say it's Oscar-worthy, and honestly, watching Michael's story unfold with his actual music backing every scene is going to be an emotional experience. Scary Movie 6. The Wayans brothers are back to roast horror movies again. Scary Movie 6 arrives on June 12th, and after a 15-year gap, we're finally getting the parody comedy we've been desperately missing. Here's what we know. Marlon Wayans is confirmed to return, and the movie is going after recent horror hits like Megan, Megan is Missing, The Nun, A Quiet Place, Smile, and even art house horror like Midsommar and Hereditary. Can you imagine them parodying the Megan doll doing that unhinged dance? The Wayans have promised this is a return to form. No holding back, no playing it safe, just pure outrageous comedy. They're even hinting at bringing back iconic characters from the original films. Plus, with horror having such a massive resurgence in the last few years, there's so much material to work with. If you grew up quoting "What's up" and the Cindy Campbell moments, this nostalgia trip is going to hit different. Get ready for outrageous jokes, pop culture references, and probably some cameos that'll break the internet. Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5 is officially confirmed to release on June 19th, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Didn't Toy Story 4 give us the perfect ending? Woody walked away, found his purpose with Bo Peep, and we all sobbed into our popcorn. So why are we doing this again? Here's what Pixar has revealed. This isn't Woody's story anymore. This is about Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of Bonnie's toys facing a threat they've never dealt with before. Technology. We're talking about electronic toys, tablets, smartphones, and kids who might not even want traditional toys anymore. Buzz Lightyear is going to lead this adventure, and according to director Andrew Stanton, is going to explore what it means to be a toy in the modern world. But here's the real question everyone's asking. Will Woody return? Pixar is staying tight-lipped, but they've hinted at a cameo that'll make fans lose their minds. Plus, remember how Toy Story 3 traumatized us with the incinerator scene? Yeah, Pixar knows exactly how to emotionally wreck grown adults with talking toys. Pixar wouldn't make this movie unless they had something meaningful to say. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow arrives on June 26th as the second film in James Gunn's new DC universe, and this is not the Supergirl you think you know. Millie Alcock, who you loved as young Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, is playing Kara Zor-El, but this isn't your typical bright and hopeful superhero origin story. Based on Tom King's critically acclaimed comic series, this Supergirl is hardened, battle-worn, and dealing with serious trauma. The story follows Kara on her 21st birthday as she teams up with a young alien girl seeking revenge, and together they go on a violent, emotional journey across space. James Gunn has said this is a big sci-fi film with massive stakes, and honestly, after his work on Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, we know he can balance humor, heart, and badass action perfectly. This is the fresh start DC needs, and if it's even half as good as the comic, we're in for something special. Minions 3 Mega Minions. The little yellow troublemakers are back. Minions 3 Mega Minions hits theaters on July 1st. And yes, you read that right. They're getting superpowers. I mean, what could possibly go wrong when you give Minions abilities beyond their already chaotic nature? Pierre Coffin returns to voice all the Minions again, and here's the plot. Gru's adorable but destructive yellow henchmen accidentally get exposed to some experimental serum that gives them superhero abilities. We're talking super strength, flight, laser vision, and probably some ridiculous powers that make absolutely no sense. The movie is going to be absolute mayhem as these already unpredictable creatures become even more dangerous, and poor Gru has to somehow wrangle them while dealing with a new supervillain threat. This franchise has made over $4 billion worldwide for a reason. Those gibberish-speaking goofballs just make everyone smile regardless of age. Whether you're bringing your kids or going solo because you secretly love them too, this is guaranteed family fun. Plus, if the trailer includes minions doing superhero landing poses while yelling "banana," we're all going to lose it. Moana Live-Action. Disney's live-action trend continues with Moana on July 10th, and this time they're going all out. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reprises his role as Maui, but here's the exciting part. Newcomer Catherine Lagaya is playing Moana in her first major film role. This isn't just a shot-for-shot remake of the animated version. Director Thomas Kail, who helmed Hamilton on Disney+, is bringing real Polynesian culture, authentic locations, and practical effects to make this feel epic and grounded. They filmed on actual Pacific islands. If you love the original, seeing Moana's journey reimagined with real locations, real ocean scenes, and practical sailing is going to be breathtaking. The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey hits IMAX screens on July 17th, and this is going to be legendary in ways we can't even imagine yet. Nolan taking on Homer's epic tale of Odysseus. This is the director who made us question time, reality, and gravity. Now he's tackling one of the greatest stories ever told. Tom Holland leads an absolutely stacked cast including Matt Damon, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, and Robert Pattinson. The plot follows Odysseus' 10-year journey home after the Trojan War, facing mythological creatures, angry gods, and impossible challenges. But here's what makes this Nolan. He's shooting the entire thing on IMAX film. Expect mind-bending storytelling, a runtime that'll make you question reality, and cinematography that redefines what mythology can look like on screen. If you're a Nolan fan, you already know this is a must-watch in theaters. Spider-Man: Brand New Day. The web slinger swings back on July 31st with Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and this is the Spider-Man story we've been waiting for since No Way Home left us emotionally destroyed. Tom Holland returns for his fourth solo Spidey film, but everything has changed. The world forgot Peter Parker exists. No more Avengers, no more mentors, no more safety net, just a broke college student in a tiny apartment trying to figure out how to be a hero when nobody knows who he is. Director John Watts is stepping away, and Destin Daniel Cretton from Shang-Chi is taking over, which means we're getting a grittier, more street-level Spider-Man. But here's what has everyone buzzing. The black symbiote suit might finally appear. Marvel has been teasing Venom's connection to the MCU for years, and with Tom Hardy's Venom leaving a piece of the symbiote behind in No Way Home, the setup is perfect. Imagine Peter, alone and struggling, bonding with an alien suit that makes him stronger but also darker. We might finally get the Spider-Man story where he loses himself before finding his way back. Plus, rumors suggest Daredevil, Kingpin, and even Black Cat could appear. House of the Dragon Season 3. House of the Dragon Season 3 is landing in August, and after that absolutely devastating Season 2 finale, we're all desperate to see how the Dance of the Dragons continues. Team Black versus Team Green. The war is officially at full scale now, and casualties are inevitable. Season 2 ended with tragic losses on both sides, and Season 3 is going to kick off with the bloodiest battles yet. We're going to see the Battle of the Gullet, one of the most brutal naval battles in Westeros history. Rhaenyra is done playing politics. She's going full fire and blood. Aegon is broken physically and mentally after what happened to him. Aemond is spiraling into darkness. And Daemon? Well, Daemon is going to Daemon, which means chaos and war crimes. The showrunners have confirmed major character deaths this season. More dragon battles, more betrayals, more heartbreak. The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The Hunger Games universe expands, with Sunrise on the Reaping on November 20th, and this is the story fans have been demanding for years. This prequel focuses on the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell, the one where Haymitch Abernathy won at just 16 years old. But here's the twist that made that game so horrific. There were twice as many tributes. That's right. 48 kids forced to fight to the death, instead of the usual 24. We're going back to Panem 24 years before Katniss ever volunteered, and we're going to witness the games that broke the man who would later mentor her. Suzanne Collins wrote an entire new novel for this, and director Francis Lawrence is returning to bring it to life. But what makes this story so compelling is that we know Haymitch wins, but we also know he loses everyone he ever loved as punishment from the Capitol. This is going to be a tragedy wrapped in action, and it's going to show just how cruel President Snow truly was, even in his younger years. This is going to explore the Capitol's cruelty from a whole new angle. Jumanji 3. Dwayne Johnson is genuinely having the biggest year ever because Jumanji 3 drops on December 11th. The game is back, the avatars are back, and you already know the humor and heart-pounding action are back too. After two wildly successful films that made over $1.7 billion combined, this third installment is going even bigger. Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan all return as the video game avatars. But here's the twist. The game is evolving. The cast has teased that they're playing multiple versions of their characters as the game glitches and changes. After two successful films, this third installment promises even wilder video game levels and more laugh-out-loud moments. If you need a fun, family-friendly adventure that doesn't take itself too seriously, Jumanji 3 is your movie. Dune, Messiah. Denis Villeneuve concludes his Dune trilogy with Dune, Messiah on December 18th, delivering a darker, more philosophical epic. Paul Atreides now faces the horrific consequences of his rise to power. No longer a triumphant hero, he has become a religious tyrant whose holy war has killed billions. As he loses his humanity and his loved ones are threatened, his prophetic visions turn into an inescapable nightmare. Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya return, with Anya Taylor-Joy joining in a mysterious role that will excite book readers. Villeneuve describes this as the darkest chapter of Paul's story, with stunning visuals, Hans Zimmer's haunting score, and intense performances that push the saga's themes of power, prophecy, and the myth of the hero to a new level. Avengers Doomsday. The biggest announcement in superhero cinema, Avengers Doomsday drops on December 18th, and this is the event that's going to break the internet. Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU, but he's not playing Tony Stark. He's playing Doctor Doom, the greatest villain Marvel has ever created. The actor who made us love Iron Man is now becoming the big bad who's going to terrorize the multiverse. The Russo brothers return to direct, bringing the team behind Infinity War and Endgame. The multiverse is collapsing. Doctor Doom has gained control over reality itself, and the remaining Avengers from multiple universes must unite to stop him. We're talking about a new team. Sam Wilson's Captain America, Shang-Chi, the Fantastic Four, possibly even Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man returning. But what is Doom's actual plan? In the comics, Doom doesn't just want to destroy the universe, he wants to save it his way, believing only he has the intelligence and will to rule properly. This is the event bringing the multiverse saga to its explosive climax before Secret Wars in 2027. New Avengers, alternate realities, and the greatest villain the MCU has ever faced. This is the movie that's going to change everything. So there you have it. 2026 is absolutely packed with incredible entertainment. If this video got you hyped for 2026, smash that like button and subscribe for more movie and TV breakdowns. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.